Hello everyone, Brian Whitener here with WebWeaver Design. Today we are going to go over the admin area, or basically how to edit the 5-page web design with content management that we offer for vacation rental owners and managers. So let's dive in. I'm going to jump around quite a bit, so let me show you how this is going to work. If you have your hosting domain and website, the domain name and the website hosting already set up, then what we will do is kind of get some things together for your brand, and we will publish this administration page to your domain. Once we do that, you're going to see it come up with an area kind of like this, and it'll want you to enter a password, which we will obviously allow you to set. I'm going to do this in two sections here. In the admin area, you're going to see some tabs kind of like this. So each one of these tabs, there's a home, about, bucket list, property, contact. And then you'll see some save buttons and then some places where you'll fill in information. This is basically how you're going to edit the content on your website, including images, paragraphs, headers, all the way down to SEO, so on and so forth. But we've tried to make it really easy, so let me just give you an overview of how this works. Over here on this home page, this is the temporary site we've created for you to kind of be able to view and understand what's going on. So if you look through here, you have a home, about, a bucket list, a property page, and a contact page. You have a nice slideshow with images up top. You'll notice there's a log cabin. It happens to be one of our properties here in the Smoky Mountains. There's two images playing in this slideshow. So I'm going to hop back over to the admin area, and this is kind of where that information is coming from. You'll notice I have the home, about, bucket list, property, contact, and then there's an admin how-to page, which I'm going to go over with you as well. You'll notice there's the vacation rental website header. This is just a test header, and that's what shows up right here. You have a couple paragraphs. So if we go back to the admin page, you'll see some content. And if there was no content in there, you'll notice it'll say paragraph. And we've also given you hints on what to put in there. So 3 to 4 sentences to keep it nice and neat for mobile devices. It also lets you know if it's going to be hidden on a mobile device. This is to make sure we have a mobile first design, which is very, very important. You have section titles. This is where you can tell it says homepage banner. So you would drop in the photos you see going in the slideshow up top. So each page, if you click, has its own places for text and video or SEO or photos, and it all kind of tells you exactly what to do. So everything is the same on each page. As you can see here on this one, there's the bucket list page. And it has tubing fun at Deep Creek. That's a video. So if we went over here to the bucket list page, this is our bucket list of things to do. We can call this a guide or a bucket list or a top 10 or whatever you want to call it. And basically all this stuff's going to load in here, all the things to do. But at the bottom you'll see tubing fun at Deep Creek. There's a video. There's golf at the Hive Lodge, and there's a video that you can play. There's a map, there's a property section. So if we go back to the admin, this is all I was showing you is you copy and paste the YouTube link, and you would just paste it in here. If it's not your own video, which a lot of times it will not be, you will have to give credit to the author here. So it's very simple. You don't have to mess with any of the layout and the scheme and the design. We will take care of all that for you. This is just so that the owner, you have some control. In the past, you would just give full control to the web designer, which is fine. There are benefits to that, but in this case, we view this as a little different. Rather than charge you every single time for editing, so on and so forth, one little small thing, it adds up very quickly. we're able to obtain licenses and create this for you, and you are able to input text and video and most of this yourself. Two other things I want to point out to you. The admin how-to section, this video will be right here, so you can come back and just see how we're, just an overview if you need that. The biggest thing you're going to have here, if you'll click where it says tips, example websites, and explanation of verbiage. If you don't know what a H1 header is, it's basically just the title of that web page. Same with H2, background images, video. It gives you examples of what you need. So if you see a place that says HTML codes for whether that's OwnerRez or whatever software you use for your reservation system, it's going to give you an example of some of that. We can also help you with that as well. Even down to SEO, browser titles and descriptions and the geeky stuff that you hear people talk about and are often scared about. It's very simple. It's really not that difficult, especially if you just stay inside of these parameters. A good, clean website is really the best SEO you can have at this point for a vacation rental property. And we give you a couple places to find keywords to do keyword research. We can also add that in as well if that's something you do not want to do. There are a couple websites here. Beach House Wildwood. You can click on that, and just to give you an idea, this is Beach House Wildwood. So you can see this. This is a client of ours in Wildwood, New Jersey. Very nice, clean website. Works. Has their top 10 list. So you can see you can change this. It can be called something slightly different. Now I'm going to show you one last thing, and it's the thing that's probably the most important. If you go over to our bucket list, so we're not calling it a guide or anything, we're calling it a bucket list. So this is the can't miss things to do in your area. Whatever that is, you would create a title and information for it. This is what you're going to want to share the most. In vacation rental industry, you really can't compete with those like HomeAway and VRBO, Airbnb, TripAdvisor for certain words. So when you think about how you're going to actually show up online, it's going to be sharing things in your area. There are other people out there doing similar things, and I would definitely advise kind of looking at Vacation Soup and some of these types of online things. Hoofy is another one, but you need your own website, and you need to be able to share things from your own website, and people need to know they can book with you. There are different philosophies out there, but this one is going to give you a page that you can create dynamic content yourself. So if you're coming to my area, one of the can't miss things you're going to want to check out is waterfalls. So we basically wrote an article here. This is all editable in the admin area, and I'm going to show you that. So this has a title of waterfalls. This would be a summary section. There can be photos here, and this is would be a slideshow. And you can see even here in this section, this is really your content that you want to give your visitor. If this were about a specific waterfall, I would tell all about that waterfall, maybe give some directions, so on and so forth. But this is one, I can make this one waterfall under a bunch of different waterfalls that we have. So this is just an example. You could really fill this page up. So this bucket list page should be full. I think it's going to display 12. After that, you're going to want to, there'll be a load more button. People will also be able to search this by category. So if they want to search it by wildlife or waterfalls, or let's say lake activities or winter activities, you could separate this through categories. I'm going to show you how that works. So you create all of this, and then as your guests or potential guests are looking at this, they know they can book with you. They can do it right here from this side panel. If they're looking at a particular post from you, you will notice there's a book now. So you're not always going to book. People are not always going to book with you just because they may find this online, but you're giving both your guest a place to look at, different things to do. they know they can book with you, whether they booked with you on a listing site or not at this time. And then potential guests kind of looking through this know they can book with you. So this is a very important part. Once again, this is all editable by you. So everything you're looking at right here, if I go back over to my admin section, the bucket list page, you can see this is the title we were looking at, just some space filler verbiage here. And there's the videos, right? And then down here you see the 4 posts that I already had. And you can see here's some categories. So outdoor adventure, water sports, fishing, and there's our 4 posts that you see on the bucket list. And to create a brand new one, you'll see there's a create a new bucket list item. If we click on that, it's blank, gives us a place for a title, some categories. We could separate it by comma. So I could type in here Soco Falls. I could do obviously waterfalls, and I could do outdoor, and then I could do scenic. But you could create some categories. I would really want to just leave this one under waterfalls. I could put in some verbiage for the post. And here I could put in a lot longer. Now you also notice I had so longer, can't type, longer post. You also notice here I had some highlighted sections in this waterfalls. So you can see this highlighted title, some regular text, and then like another subtitle. This is because we can bold. We can actually change the format to a heading, different headings here. You can change the alignment, which I always recommend Justified. It looks great. You can even insert links, so you can post back to other waterfalls. You know, this has its own link, so you could copy this from up here in your browser and say, hey, you know, at the end of your post, you could say, please check out even more waterfalls. So, and you could put that in here, like the name of another, let's say another waterfall, and you could highlight, insert a link, paste it, and there it goes. So your guests could read all about this waterfall, and you could say, hey, close by is another waterfall, and you could link to it, which keeps people on your page. It's the point of the video, it's the point of the photos, it's the point of everything, is to keep people on your website for both their sake and for Google. And then here's where you would drag and drop your images, just like throughout the rest of the site. Once you have that, you could click save. Back to your admin page here. If you go down to bucket list, you will notice we have added that Soco Falls, which we would delete because it's not even a real post. But as you can see, it's very simple. I'm going to keep this video under 15 minutes, just giving you an overview of how it works. But yeah, so this is pretty easy stuff. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, Brian at webweaver.design. Thank you. Bye.